Hello everyone, welcome to the Whistling Hermit's One Card Spread series. Note that this video is divided into three parts. A short introduction, which we are doing right now. Part 1, which is a descriptive study of the card for the day. And Part 2, which is a reading from the Handbook of the Tarot of A.E. Waite from AGM Urania. If you want to navigate directly to any of the three parts mentioned, just click on their respective links at the timestamp provided in the description of this video. This video series is primarily intended for learning how to read the tarot. However, you can also use this as a card reading for the day. This is a timeless reading, so if you are watching this now, its message might be for you. In this series, we will be using the Giant Rider Waite Tarot deck. We will also be using the Handbook of the Tarot of A.E. Waite from AGM Urania. The first part of the video will be a descriptive study of a specific card in the tarot. We will describe what we see and the insights and feelings we gather from what we see. Now, the first part is characterized by spontaneity. We allow the cards to speak to us regardless of the generally accepted meaning of the card. By doing this, we hope to increase our intuitive capacity for reading the tarot cards. In the second part, we will be reading the description of the card taken from the booklet of the Tarot of A.E. Waite by AGM Urania. If you intend to use this as a timeless reading, you can randomly choose any card in the series that resonates with you. An alternative approach is to shuffle a Rider Waite Tarot deck and pick a card randomly. You can then choose the card in the video series that corresponds to the card you picked. Note that this series is a work in progress and it might take some time for the 78 cards to be completely read. So, without any further delay, let us proceed to the card for the day. Okay, welcome to part 1 of our one card spread series, and our card for today is the King of Pentacles. Of all the kings, in the tarot, this is the king who has a most colorful and most intricate robe or garb. If you look at the King of Swords, it's very austere, one who seems to be very, very disciplined. Yeah, and the sword somehow makes him even more a person of discipline, as if you have certain rules that you have to really follow. When you look at the King of Cups, this has a color of blue, very much in line with his intuitive part, so immersed in the sea. And the motif is that of blue. There's even a fish there. It's also simple. This one is fire. When you look at the King of Wands, fire, and the wand symbolizes fire. There is flame also on his. There's also flame here on his crown. Even the tail of the lion there is, I don't know if this is a lion or a dragon. If it's a dragon, then yes, it symbolizes also fire. It can be a lion also. A lion is a creature of fire also, a creature that is filled with fire, with passion. So in a certain sense, you get it. It's red, but it's different because when you look at it here, he's the one that has a lot more color. He's the one with the printed kind of robe. The others are plain. But the beautiful thing about here is that it seems like, the design of his robe is that of abundance. They're like grapes, clusters of grapes in his robe. And it seems that his robe is blending with the abundant environment that he has. Around him, there are a lot of grapevines with a lot of grapes growing. It's as if the grapevine has grown into his clothing. It's very hard to distinguish his clothing from the lush environment that he is in. So it's as if the lush environment becomes his clothes. It's like the abundance of the universe is covering him up, filling him up, dressing him up. You see here the abundance of the universe that is overflowing around him, but at the same time filling him up. It reminds me of the Ace of Cups, wherein the Ace of Cup is being filled up by the bird, as if it's constantly being filled up, that the cup is overflowing. Here, when you look at the pentacles also, it seems that the abundance of the whole environment, the whole universe, is filling up the life of this king in such a way that his clothes are almost indistinguishable from the vine that is growing abundantly in his environment. And when you look at his throne also seems to be filled up with the abundance of nature. So if you are reading this card, it could be that at this point in time of your life, you are receiving a lot of graces from the divine, from the universe. And when you look at the king, his eyes are closed and he seems to be contented with his life at this present time. He is aware of the abundance that he is receiving from the divine and from the universe. And maybe with his eyes closed, he has this sense of gratitude to the divine. Maybe this is also an invitation for those who are reading this card right now to be more aware of the generosity of the divine and the universe in your life, and to have this gratefulness as part of your life, to appreciate the abundance and the generosity of the divine in your life, and to be thankful. An invitation for you to be thankful of the beautiful things that are happening in your life. If at this present time you still do not feel that abundance, then maybe this card is telling you that in the near future you will be receiving abundance. I guess part of manifesting things in your life is being grateful with what you already have, and anticipating this gratefulness makes you open to receive more gifts from the divine and from the universe. There's an invitation here for you to be more grateful of what you already have. By being grateful of what you already have, it will open up the door to receiving more. They say that happiness and contentment are one and the same words. The secret of happiness is being contented with what you have. There are people who constantly long for something more, and this longing for something more sometimes keeps them from appreciating what they already have. And so they always have this kind of mentality: I will be happy when I already have this. And then when they already have that, I will be happy when I already have this. So they are not able to enjoy what they already have, and they miss the opportunity to be happy in the moment. The invitation here is to be grateful with what you already have, to be contented with what you have, and to open the doors to more things to come. When you are happy with what you have, well, for example, if somebody gives you something and that somebody sees that you are happy with what they gave you, and you express your gratefulness to the generosity that they have given you, oftentimes these people would like to give you more, because they say, oh, this is somebody who appreciates whatever I give them. It's the same. When you are appreciative of what the divine and what the universe gives you, then the more they will give you, because they know that you are one person who gives value to what they give you. You give value and you make the best of what you have. So in a certain sense, being grateful of what you already have opens the door to receiving more gifts. And I guess this is the beauty about it. I mean, a vine, when it produces grapes, you don't cut them because if you cut the vine, then it will have difficulty for the vine again to grow, and it will take a long time for them to again produce grapes. But when the time of the blooming of the grapes stop, then you trim it. But when it is in the process of providing a lot of grapes, you allow the grapes to grow even more. It's part of your life also. I mean, if at this moment in your time in your life you are receiving a lot of abundance, don't cut the grapes. Be grateful. Receive it. Don't cut it off. Receive it. Enjoy it. It's part of the cycle of life. You know, knowing that this is just a temporary moment. There will be moments also when it's time to cut the grapevine. And when you cut the grapevine, so that it will grow again and then bear more fruits. But when it's at the time of fruit, the season where it gives fruit, you allow it to give the fruit that is needed, so that new things will begin from it in the future. So if you are in the time of abundance right now, don't cut it off. Cherish the moment. Be grateful of the moment. Allow them to bear more and more and more fruits. There will come a time when these fruits will stop again, and then the cycle will continue. There will be a moment where the grapes will need to grow again. But at that moment of abundance, cherish the moment, live the moment, and be grateful. Be grateful for the moment. But the beautiful thing here also is not just to enjoy it by yourself. Like this king, he continues serving as he receives the abundance. He appreciates the moment, but at the same time, he continues serving. If you are given a big responsibility and you are also receiving a lot of graces, don't keep it to yourself. Share it also to those around you. And somehow the king is like this also. I mean, he could have just stayed in the castle which is behind him. He is outside the castle. He is amidst his kingdom, and his presence is felt by the people. Anyone can approach him from here, no? But when you look at it, yeah, maybe this is or maybe this could be also the tower, the terrace of his kingdom. But he's out in the world. He's in touch with the world. For when you look at it, this person is the kind of ruler who is in touch with the world. He's outside. He's not hidden in his castle. He's a person who is out in the world, very much like his queen, no? He's out in the world. So he's out in his kingdom. He is in touch with his subjects, and he's in touch with the environment. This is of all the other king, or the King of Cups, is in touch with his intuition. This one is in touch. He's grounded to the reality. He is in touch with nature. So this is another thing. Sometimes we get to be so involved with our work that we no longer have time to go out and get in touch with nature. This is a person who rules, who works amidst creation. And that's the beauty about it. I mean, if we can find ways also, maybe we have been spending too much time inside the office, inside a building. Maybe there's an invitation for us to also go out and get in touch with nature. If there is a possibility for you to work in the midst of nature, maybe this is a moment this card is inviting you. If you can work in the midst of nature, like for example, there are some things that you can do also in the midst of nature. Like when you communicate with others, maybe if you immerse yourself in the midst of creation, maybe you will have a better disposition, a positive disposition, and that positive disposition can affect the negotiation that you are having. So if you are calling somebody, maybe it would be nice to call them also in the midst of nature. Well, adapt it to your situation. But if it resonates with you, maybe it's good also to be in touch with everything. I guess this is an invitation for us also to always be in touch with the grassroots, especially when you are in a position wherein you are, the tendency of your position has a tendency, your position has a tendency to detach you from the ground level. Maybe this card invites you to go back and get in touch with the grassroots, because for somebody who is like a king, an emperor, who makes decision for a big corporation or a big group of people, or you are ahead of a certain organization, it is important for us also, or for you to be in touch also with the grassroots, with the personnel below you, because if you are not in touch with them, you might end up making decisions that will not be beneficial for the whole. This king is very much immersed when you look at it. No, the grassroots is able to grow through his clothes. He, at the same time, it does not affect him. So even if he's in touch with the grassroots, he doesn't lose his cool. He doesn't lose his peace of mind. He's still able to work at peace. So I guess it has, when you look at it, it has a relationship also to temperance. Being in touch with the grassroots, but at the same time being able to maintain his objectivity. Being able to maintain a balance. Able to be in touch, but at the same time not too much immersed in it to the point that he loses his peace. He is not able to enjoy his present moment. This is a person who, even if he's in touch or immersed with the grassroots, he's still able to enjoy his present moment. He has a certain way of being able to detach himself, that he still has time for himself, time for introspection, time to think things over, so that he will be able to serve more the kingdom wherein he is working on. But he is in touch with this kingdom, so he is able to, it's as if what is happening to his subjects, he feels it. He's able to contemplate on it, and whatever he does trickles to this one, and they become abundant. They are able to grow in his presence. He is present among them. They feel his presence, and they feel that he is a person they can approach to, but at the same time, he is able to maintain a certain peace. He is able to have good boundaries in such a way that he is able to maintain a certain peace, that he will be able to constantly be an overflowing source of grace and abundance to the subjects that he is serving. So it's a very nice, good example of temperance. And when you look at it, if you count from 1 to 10 in the Major Arcana, and you count also from 1 to the King, which are 14 cards, the King would be the 14th, like 1 to 10, the Page will be 11, the Knight will be 12, the Queen will be 13, and the King will be 14. When you look at the 14 of the Major Arcana, it is temperance. So somehow he is related to, when you look at it, you can relate him to temperance, because he is able to maintain a balance amidst the service to his kingdom, able to remain at peace. And maybe this is a beautiful thing about it. He is able to cherish the abundance that he received from the divine and the universe, and he appreciates this. He holds this one close to him, knowing that somehow he appreciates the gift that he's receiving, but this gift overflows to his kingdom, and he is in touch with his kingdom, so he's able to really give what his kingdom needs, and the kingdom is able to express themselves to him. Well, I hope this has been a beneficial video for those who are reading this as their card of the day, and for those who are learning from intuition. Now, this is one of those colorful cards, so for those who are trying to learn more about the tarot, I know when you look closely here, like for example, this symbol, I think this symbol of, I'm not sure, I think it's Aries, no? So the masculine energy is here, and you will be able to contemplate even more. Let the card speak to you. Let's see, there are a lot of symbols of masculinity, Aries, no? So this is a king, yeah, but at the same time, let's see, he's very masculine, but he has the qualities of the Empress. He both has an equal balance of the quality of the Emperor and the quality of the Empress in the Major Arcana. He's able to make a good balance. So somehow he is able to really be, quite a good example of temperance when you look at it. Well, let the card speak to you, and I know you'll get more insights from this card. It's a very, very, very colorful and very intricate card. Let us now go to part 2. Welcome to part 2 of our one card spread series, and our card for today is the King of Pentacles. We will be reading now from the booklet of the Tarot of A.E. Waite from AGM, Urania. The Fool began the deck as a free wanderer, unattached to property or responsibility. At the other end of the deck, we find the Grand King of Pentacles, wealthy, secure, in charge of a settled world. Though he sits in front of a stone wall, with his castle rising up behind him, nature grows wildly around him. Flowers poke out from his crown, leaves and vines are everywhere, and grape clusters seem to hang on his robe. He also seems the most comfortable of all the kings, at ease on his throne as he fondly touches the pentacle on his knee. Bulls' heads appear on the corners of his throne, symbol of Taurus, the fixed sign of earth, and thus the most stable and grounded of all the signs. The throne is black, like fertile ground. Here at the end of the deck, the end of the prophecy, we find stability, the world restored after the great upheavals, but also lush and filled with life. Divinatory meanings: wealth, stability, satisfaction, a benevolent ruler, boss. Warning, advice: his comfort becomes uppermost, more important than his responsibilities to others. Action: express your satisfaction with possessions and the good things in life. Well, that concludes part 2 of our one card spread series on the King of Pentacles. Until next time, have a great day.